We are now 6 games away from the end of the championship season. Leeds United sitting in 3rd place in the table currently, but with the opportunity for all sorts of scenarios to play out even this evening, where elsewhere already Sheffield United and Burnley are both in action. Leeds United will be in the dark blue and pink away strip. Middlesbrough, of course, will be in their red and white traditional home colours. The home side have been on a good run of form in recent weeks and have played themselves back into the playoff frame, having slipped out of it with a poor run around about the new year. But this is a side that has plenty of good attacking players in it, and for certain Leeds United will be expecting a test, will be expecting a challenge from this game this evening. Leeds have their own absences to work through. No Pascal Strout tonight, another who is now carrying an injury. So Joe Rothwell we'll expect to maybe be back for the last couple of games. Strout could be in a similar situation. So there have been changes to the Leeds starting 11 enforced as a result of the Strout injury. The Middlesbrough side is in front of you there. And Middlesbrough have had to make a change at the back themselves as well, where Berg has come in. And Johnny Howson will be playing as a central defender. There's the Leeds United side, so you can see that Aaronson is restored to the starting 11. Ampadu drops into the back line, and Gruev slots into that gap in the midfield. So we're at that stage of the season now where there will be key players missing potentially, but it falls upon the squad to ensure that those absences don't have a hugely detrimental effect on the team that takes part in each and every game between now and that final fixture away at Plymouth Argyle. I say final fixture, ... TBC. Teams line up in the centre circle, the 2 captains at least with the refereeing team. And the Leeds United mascot, who we met before the kick-off, Tony and I, down at pitch side. She will have enjoyed her spell out there right in the middle of the pitch with a big noise all around the ground. And as she runs off, the team go into the huddle and begin to have those last-minute words now, led no doubt by the captain, Ethan Ampadu. As Daniel Farker and Michael Carrick watch on from their respective technical areas. Leeds have a good record here against Middlesbrough. Leeds have a good record in general against Middlesbrough, and if there was ever an occasion, if there was ever a night to extend that, then tonight is that night. It's cool now, it's been a beautiful day, been really warm, but the temperature has dropped, so much so that the man sitting alongside me is still wearing the winter coat and has added the winter hat as well. So Teesside is a little bit parky. The game is underway. Leeds United start it. Rodon first touch across the back, and from Rodon to Ampadu, and then to the 3rd member of the Welsh triangle, Carl Darlow, who clips the ball out towards Junior Firpo, whose ball is cleared forward by Howson up to the edge of the penalty area. Bogle's underneath it, takes it under control. Jayden Bogle moves the ball and then stops and comes back for Rodon again. And Carl Darlow gets another touch with his feet. Ethan Ampadu back in that central defensive role. Tanaka back to Darlow. This time he puts his foot through it. Doesn't get great distance on it, but Piroe flicks it on from the centre circle and then puts some pressure on as the defensive ball from Berg is played back to the goalkeeper, who has scooped his ball out towards the far touchline where it's kept in play. And then the header on the halfway line from Rodon, put back towards Howson, who goes across the back to the right wing back on this occasion. Iling-Junior has the ball again, under pressure though, this time from Manor Solomon. Solomon goes in again and wins the ball for Leeds, and again keeps it away from his opponent. Does really well there, Manor Solomon. Leeds have it back with Ampadu in his own half, and now Rodon. It's been a pretty lively start to this game as Gruev now comes on to get his first touch of the ball.
It certainly has, but we've kept the ball well, haven't we, at least? And of course the challenge we have will be very different to Luton Town. Middlesbrough will come, of course, to play, and so will we, but this has been promising so far. Good retention of the ball.
Gruev Into the middle to Ampadu. Straight ball for Junior Firpo. Now there's a runner, and it's Mana Solomon. He's picked the ball up in the penalty area, and he's crossed it in, and it's there! Leeds have scored! Slid in by Dan James. What a start for Leeds United! Terrific attacking move down the left side. James popped up in the middle, and he turned the cross in from close range. Leeds have the perfect opening to this game. Middlesbrough 0, Leeds United 1.
It's brilliant play, and we've kept the ball ever so well. We're patient, and we find the space, but can we then find the quality? Well, we certainly can. Down this left-hand side, really was excellent. Firpo, the ball is superb, and Solomon running on. The gap is there, just put it in, and we know Dan James, quick as you like, will get there. Iling-Junior makes an attempt to try and clear it, and under pressure from Dan James, it ends up in the back of the net. Who touches it finally? I don't know, but you know what, Bryn? I really don't care.
Well, we've got the super slow-mo to watch now. James, isn't it? Yeah, it's a James touch. It comes off the goalkeeper, but Dan James will be claiming that one for sure. Leeds United in front here inside the opening couple of minutes. Now it's game on, most certainly, as Middlesbrough look to respond swiftly. They have the ball up in the Leeds half. And then there's a strong challenge, and Firpo goes down under a strong challenge. He flew up in the air there.
He did, but Burgzorg is just frustrated from not getting a free kick earlier in the move. He got a little blocked. I think it was Ampadu actually that blocked the run, and after that you could see the steam was coming out of his ears, and that was a poor challenge, but he gets away with it.
So Middlesbrough see Leeds United hold possession just outside the away team's penalty area. Tanaka on the ball for Leeds United now. Invites the challenge and then turns it back to Carl Darlow. Darlow with his right foot out towards the right side. James goes up to challenge. It comes off the defender, and it will be out off Iling-Junior for a Leeds United throw-in. Iling-Junior playing left-back role for Middlesbrough this evening. It's not the role that he's most often been known for.
No, certainly not. And of course, I've seen him in Italian football, and he'd always come on in a wing position, an attacking position. So he's having to do the defensive duty, and he's up against Dan James. So I think we need to get the ball kind of in behind, test his positional sense, and see how we go.
Leeds have just tried to do that, but unsuccessfully, and the ball ends up back with Travers, the goalkeeper for Middlesbrough. Travers with the ball up towards the halfway line. Ampadu at the back for Leeds, launches it high and long, and it's controlled on the edge of the area by Berg, and then back to Travers, who turns it forward. Tanaka almost gets on the end of it. Rodon on the halfway line. In it goes to Ampadu, and Ampadu looks back towards Darlow, and that's the direction in which the ball then travels. Darlow short out the area to Rodon, who offers himself, and then Rodon goes up towards the halfway line. Piroe flicks it on well for Solomon, who heads it back into the path of Piroe. Leeds have got plenty of bodies going. Through the middle it goes, and Aaronson almost popped up there. Solomon couldn't get involved because he was offside. But that was almost a very good ball from Piroe, and almost worked out for Aaronson.
It's brilliant play, and you saw the ball up to Piroe, and he finally won that first flick on. That's really important. He needs to do that. The ball through is excellent. And I talked about Iling-Junior's positional sense. Well, he was impressive because he covered around really well and stopped Aaronson getting on the end of that through ball.
Ampadu with a long ball, and again the runner goes over the top, and James, he just stuck out a leg, and it bounced inches in front of his foot. Had he been able to get any sort of touch on that and take power out of the ball, then he was in a really good position, and it rolled through, as it turned out, to Travers. Now here's an interesting scoreline. Sheffield United 0, Millwall 1. Remember, they kicked off at 7:45. Long way to go. Twists and turns aplenty are guaranteed.
The sun is shining at the moment, Bryn. Not actually here in Middlesbrough, but shining on us. But we do know it can soon cloud over
There's
pretty
always
quickly.
a cloud.
Yeah, exactly. But I have to say, it's been a really good start from us. We've knocked it around very well indeed. And more importantly, we've taken a chance.
Travers' long ball is into no one in a red shirt. Rodon covers, but goes back to Darlow. press quickly, so he goes back to Rodon, and he's happy to go long. And again, Piroe challenges. This time he's beaten by Howson on the halfway line. Tackling from Aaronson once, not twice, and then Piroe, and Piroe gets a foot on it, and Aaronson puts pressure on Howson. The Howson experience of all the years, but then he loses out, and then Leeds win it back, and Aaronson's done really well, and he's played it to James, and James is into the area, and he shoots, and the goalkeeper two-handed beats that one away. Still back for James, into the area. Well, nutmegs initially to beat the first man, but the covering defender managed to take the ball out of the penalty box, and then Leeds win it back quickly once more. Tanaka back towards the halfway line to Ampadu. Forward it goes to Solomon, who's playing through the middle. Leeds have nobody down the left just at the moment. Firpo at left back in the centre circle now with Tanaka. Tanaka to his right to Bogle.
Just that earlier move as well, when James got it initially, Solomon was on. If it was played to him really quickly, I think he was in, but just a slight delay meant then that option closed down. But James, good effort, good shot.
Piroe lays it off for Tanaka. Tanaka back to Rodon, and Rodon short to Ampadu in his own half. Now Gruev, and back it goes to Ampadu. Ampadu sees the run, but he goes wide to Firpo. He's got a lot of space to operate in the Middlesbrough half. Plays it down the channel, it's too heavy, and it rolls away from Mana Solomon, who suggests that he wanted a slightly better ball than that. It wasn't a bad idea, it was just the wrong execution.
Yes, I think he just wanted to see to his feet, get it under control, and he can produce his magic.
Travers in the penalty area for Middlesbrough. Short ball out to his left. And then Howson chases and gets on the ball for Middlesbrough. 36 years old now, Johnny Howson. Still doing his thing, this time as a central defender. That's his recent role for Middlesbrough, in the absence of plenty of others who are out injured.
Well, all that experience, he puts it to good use, doesn't he, at centre-half? And of course, he can play, we know that.
There are those who will tell you, playing at centre-half, you can play into your 50s if you're clever. Ball down the left-hand side as Middlesbrough launch an attack. Into the area it goes. There's covering work to be done by Ilya Gruev, and then pushed out the box by Tanaka, but it's picked up just outside the area by Morris. And then out to this right-hand side it comes, and Iheanacho into the penalty area. Firpo has done well to cover, and he's done better even to get the ball off Burgzorg and out and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward when the ball got to Burgzorg. We managed to get a ricochet and off the Boro man, out for a goal kick. Such a different game, isn't it, to Saturday? It's being played on the ground, and here we're looking at the goal again. It's an excellent ball initially from Firpo, and then Solomon just drive it across the 6-yard line.
He's actually done really well, hasn't he?
Well, he has, because he's actually got his leg there nice and early as well, rather than timing of the pass. He just put his leg there, and eventually it comes off his foot and in the goal.
Howson, just outside the Middlesbrough penalty area, goes across the edge of the box to Berg, and then he turns it back to Howson. We move past the 10-minute mark here at the Riverside Stadium. Howson again in possession. Middlesbrough enjoying a spell of possession now after a bright Leeds opening. Attacking down the left-hand side. Step overs are plenty there from Iling-Junior, and Bogle just kept his eye on the ball and was able to turn it out of play for a throw-in. And back it goes. Middlesbrough still in possession in the Leeds half. Now retreated into their own territory. Howson on the edge of the centre circle for Boro. Starting to move it around in fairly characteristic fashion before Firpo breaks things up for Leeds and gets the ball onto Piroe, who's in trouble here. Goes down and wins a free kick, does really well. Joel Piroe, because he bought that one for sure. Just felt the contact, fell to the floor. Morris turns, arms spread open wide. Leeds get the free kick.
Certainly did, but that's a good illustration of the different type of game that we're up against. We can be patient, they can play, and then we can nick it, can't we? Intercept, and off we go on the counter. There, Piroe brought down, but this style of football, certainly, I think, is more in our favour.
Tanaka, bit of space through the middle, and then checks back to Gruev. Out it comes to Ampadu, who's happy just to direct it back to Carl Darlow again. Darlow out to the edge of the area to Rodon, wide right to Bogle. Bogle down the line for James. Lovely flick on for Aaronson. Aaronson moving into the Middlesbrough half. He's held up on his way, and the ball is played into touch off Hackney for a Leeds United throwing, which has gone back from Bogle to Rodon. And then Ampadu. Ampadu looking for movement up front, and he sees a run, and it's down the right-hand side from Bogle, who's been left all alone, who's played the ball into Dan James, who's in the penalty area. Runners arriving as he curls his shot just over the top. Another good move, another good effort, not too far away, that one.
Once again, it's excellent play. We all know about Dan James's left foot, and why not give it another go? Always just a little bit high and wide, but good first touch, wasn't it, from Bogle, who wanted actually the return, but James thought, no, I'm going to give it a go myself. Just wide.
So Middlesbrough with the goal kick, which is taken along the edge of the 6-yard box, and Travers realised that Piroe was arriving, so went long with his clearance. Rodon's underneath it and just directs the ball into touch in the Middlesbrough half for a throw-in, which comes back to Van den Berg. And then at the back, Howson. Back into the middle once more. Middlesbrough still operating in their own half. Now Howson looking to move it perhaps into Leeds. Down this near side, Firpo goes in just to block off the attempted movement of Burgzorg. In doing so, concedes a throw-in. And the ball is into the middle with Morris. And then out wide to the left-hand side to Azaz.
He's not been involved much, has he, Azaz? We know he's a quality player. This time he's moved out to that left-hand side.
On this near side, another quality player, Burgzorg. And then the man in possession was Dijksteel, and then Leeds have done really well. Aaronson once more winning it back. Tanaka had the option to go forward there, opts to go back instead, so Rodon carries it instead. Still going, Joe Rodon, and then under tackle goes down, and Leeds look to the referee and get nothing.
Well, it's a good challenge actually. Conway does come back and get the ball. Rodon, we've seen him stride forward, but the striker for Middlesbrough did a good job.
Ball comes off Manor Solomon and out for a throw into Middlesbrough, pretty much on the halfway line. Jonathan Woodgate, part of the Middlesbrough coaching staff these days, just behind Michael Carrick, and had a quick chat with Woody before the game. Former Leeds man, of course. Pleasantries were exchanged, and that was about all. Howson on the halfway line, over it, and gives the ball to Burgzorg. And then a short pass back to Dijksteel. To the halfway line to Morris. Middlesbrough all up in the Leeds half now. Morris has to check back to Howson, who's back in just inside Middlesbrough's half, and then out to the left side it goes, where there's a bit of space for the left back Iling-Junior up to the edge of the penalty area to Azaz. It comes back out, and now it's Dijksteel out to this right-hand side to Burgzorg. Burgzorg on the edge of the penalty area. The shot is a dipping half volley that comes in from Iheanacho. Wasn't the worst effort, but it was never going to dip enough to cause Darlow any worries.
No, and 2 or 3 of the Boro players are appealing for a corner kick. The referee isn't having it, but just got to be careful. He pulls out there, Iheanacho, and on the volley actually does take a deflection early on here off the back of Tanaka, just slightly.
So Leeds have some good fortune as Piroe tries to win a header against Van den Berg.
And that's what he needs to do, just make it awkward. Don't let the centre-half have an easy free header. Obviously, win it yourself if you can, but be strong when the ball goes up there.
Because there isn't tremendous height at the middle through. I mean, Johnny Howson's a great player, but he's not tall. But Middlesbrough are moving the ball out to the left side again here, and they have the chance to put pressure on Leeds United as it comes back into the middle to Hackney. Short pass delivered to his left to Iling-Junior. Back to Hackney once more. And then into the path of Morris. Comes back for Howson, still in that Leeds half. Further back towards Berg. He clips it out towards the far touchline. It's rolled into Azaz just outside the box and onto the penalty spot where Ampadu clears away. And then Leeds will win the ball back if Darlow can get off his line quickly. Called into action by Rodon. Darlow responds and he gathers the ball safely.
Well, they see the quality that Boro have. They knock it around well, find space on the left-hand side. The ball in was a good early one as well, but Ampadu in a good position.
Ampadu back to Darlow. Swipes through it into the Middlesbrough half. Flicked on by Howson backwards. Ampadu calling for an offside there against Burgzorg, but the ball is carried through to Darlow, so the game goes on. And now Tanaka has it, and he's given it short to Ethan Ampadu. Swept it forward to Mana Solomon. He can set off on a run forward perhaps here. In it goes to Aaronson, who's got space to operate in. Aaronson, edge of the penalty area, finds its way almost through to Piroe, but then he's quickly closed down, and then Rodon goes in well. Oh, what a shame, it almost broke into the path of James, but it comes back for Rodon again. Can he pick out a killer pass here? Little flick from Solomon, edge of the area is Aaronson. Solomon, and then can't poke it back to Aaronson, and then there's a foul by Brendan Aaronson on Hayden Hackney. And that would be considered to be a team foul, I think, because he would fear the counter-attack with Leeds having lost possession. Yeah,
it's just too tight, wasn't it, on the edge of the box. Good play initially, couldn't quite find the killer pass. Comes back to Rodon, and then just trying a little bit too much.
Centre circle, Leeds don't manage to win it, and suddenly Boro have bodies over. Leeds getting back behind it now as Middlesbrough with Azaz into the middle. Firpo, great header. Not only to clear, but to head it into the path of Solomon. And then he gets the return ball off Mana Solomon. And again, oh, that's a poor ball from Solomon, and Tanaka had to deal with that one. What on earth was Mana Solomon attempting to do there? It looks like a cross. Luckily, Tanaka saw the danger and quickly blocked it off, and Leeds temporarily at least managed to clear.
Well, whatever he was trying to do, he better not do it again. That one was had danger written all over it.
Middlesbrough in possession in Leeds half, now in their own half with Howson. Moves the ball back to Berg, who goes out to his left-hand side to Iling-Junior. Berg once more in possession for Middlesbrough. Goes short to Hackney, goes square to Howson, given away to Firpo. Plays it on to Solomon. Gets it back into the path of Firpo again. Firpo's just inside Middlesbrough's half. It comes back from Solomon beyond Ampadu. Yeah, slightly overhit pass from Mana Solomon, but Rodon had come into cover. And now Darlow has it at his feet.
Just need to have a little spell in possession, don't we? Not like this.
Another poor ball from Darlow ahead of Ampadu, and it goes straight into touch. Middlesbrough get themselves an unnecessary throw-in level with the edge of the Leeds United penalty area. Morris for the home side. Back it goes to Berg, and back to Morris once more. Swings it all the way across from right to left, where it's almost won by Bogle. He's done a really good job, actually. Oh, I thought that was a Leeds throw, but I think the away fans far side were in agreement with me, but crucially, assistant far side wasn't. So Middlesbrough take the throw in.
These sort of areas where we just got to be patient and then try and intercept the ball once it gets into that midfield area. On the counter, we've always got a chance and look strong.
Down the right side, Dijksteel for Middlesbrough. Holds it, pushes it back to Morris. In it goes to Hackney into the penalty area. Manages to work it on the edge of the box now. And then a nice interception from James, who's on the charge. Dan James going it alone. Closed down successfully, as it turned out, ultimately by Iling-Junior. If he looked to his left, Piroe was arriving. If he just pushed it in his general direction, he was caught in possession. And now Middlesbrough come back at Leeds.
Exactly the situation on the counter, but Iling-Junior, excellent defending.
Howson for Middlesbrough, pushing far forward here into the edge of the penalty area, cuts it back to the edge of the D to Azaz, turns goalwards, shoots, takes a deflection, Middlesbrough corner.
Tanaka with an important block. We're getting some decent ball now in and around our box. We get plenty of bodies behind, and that is a good block from Tanaka.
So there's a set piece for Leeds United to defend here. Middlesbrough's first corner kick. And they've sent plenty into the Leeds penalty area. So I say that there are 1, 2, 3, there are 4, 5 players outside of it actually.
Yeah, and they have plenty of players in and around the keeper and inside that 6-yard box.
Maybe there's too much jostling going on around Carl Darlow there, because the referee has stopped the corner from being taken and he's stepped into the midst of the group. See this so often now.
We certainly do. It just ends up being a talking to. Referee walks off and then nothing happens the rest of the game. Yeah.
So now the corner comes into the penalty area, near post, it's gone across and it's from close range, it's turned in and the flag is up and it's offside, and Middlesbrough thought they'd equalised and the assistant denies them their celebrations.
He certainly pushed up at the right time. What we don't want to do is allow the ball to travel that sort of distance. And you should never allow it to bounce, got to get there before that. So as the ball comes in, you can see Conway, he's offside there. Just enough. We move up. Bogle's last man, but he knows he's offside.
Yeah, no question about it. Solomon for Leeds still. Solomon, great run. Oh, but he can't get going again. He's got a free kick for an earlier foul on Manor Solomon as he looked to link up with Junior Firpo then. So Leeds now have a free kick just in from the near side touchline in the Boro half.
But that's a warning, isn't it? Certainly set pieces. They've obviously seen our previous games and crowding that 6-yard box, making it physically difficult. However, we should have cleared it.
Rodon for Leeds. 25th minute, 1-0 Leeds United. Early goal from Dan James. Firpo on the halfway line to Ethan Ampadu. Ampadu, I'm not sure if he mishit it, but it flew straight into the path of Bogle anyway. He comes back for Rodon, who's happy to go back to the goalkeeper. And Darlow out to Ampadu, and Ampadu further wide to Firpo. Middlesbrough pressing high, chasing the man in possession, which is Ampadu. Now Tanaka. Tanaka looking for an out. Doesn't find it and puts the ball straight into touch. And that's one of those instances where surely you are allowed to go long, isn't it?
It is, but you could see Tanaka doesn't want to just give it away, so he looked up, couldn't see anything on. And you're right, should have just put it in the area, safer up in their half than out in ours.
Brandon Berg into his own half now with Morris. And Morris again looks for that out ball of Iling-Junior down the left side, and his control is poor. And it comes off his foot and out for a Leeds throw-in, which Bogle takes into Aaronson. Aaronson gets past the first man, but not the second. Goes in for a nibble again, but Middlesbrough break down that left-hand side and move the ball menacingly forward into the penalty area. And there's a block and there's a clearance from Firpo on the penalty spot. And it's a good clearance because it's found James. And James looks up and he's played it into Piroe. He's in the centre circle. And then James takes it off him. And James carries the charge forward for Leeds United. James out to Solomon, left side of the penalty area. Solomon comes back for Firpo. Middlesbrough able to get back behind the ball now as Gruev has it and goes square to Rodon. Now Tanaka. Tanaka into Ethan Ampadu. Ilya Gruev, now Junior Firpo, midway inside the Middlesbrough half. Gruev, edge of the centre circle where Rodon awaits, and then out wide where Bogle can think about maybe carrying it forward. He cuts back instead. Then he comes in field, Jayden Bogle, and gives it to Joe Rodon. Into the centre circle to Ampadu. Short ball to Tanaka. Back it comes to Ampadu again. Pointing as he passes. Ethan Ampadu once more in possession for Leeds. Out it comes to Solomon. Left-hand side, Firpo's just ahead of him. Solomon opts to come back instead to Gruev, and now Ampadu once more. Again, looks forward, sees if there's a run down the channel. It's not on. So he gives it to Gruev instead and then gets it back off the Bulgarian.
Piroe is just floating in some space, but Middlesbrough are just allowing him to have a little bit of space. Once we pass it, of course, that will quickly close down.
Ethan Ampadu got a bit lucky there, but ultimately managed to chip the ball out to Dan James on the right side as he moved it forward. Back it comes for Rodon to Ampadu once more. Gruev backing up, and now Firpo. Firpo rolls it into Piroe, plays it back to Tanaka, who controls at a stretch and gives it to Ethan Ampadu, short to his left to Gruev. On it goes to Firpo. And back to Gruev once more. Still waiting down that right side is James, if anybody could work it that way, but they've come down the left instead, Leeds, with Solomon now coming in from the touchline. Solomon just elects to cut it back to Ampadu, to Firpo down Leeds left. Now Aaronson, he can move it forwards, and he goes forwards, and he's into the penalty area, and he's put the ball back, and it hit Howson on the upper chest, and he is happy just to hack it long away, and Ampadu with a header wins Leeds United a throw in. Just momentarily there, Brendan Aaronson did really well to get on the inside left channel into the penalty area. Couldn't quite produce the ball back.
He certainly did, but Howson was excellent positioning, not handball. Caught him in his midriff.
Ampadu, crossfield ball, finds Dan James. James flicks it on, but Aaronson can't quite get in behind him, and then as James scampered off to try and keep the ball in play, the referee has called a foul for Middlesbrough, and so Dan James heads back towards the halfway line to get back behind the ball. Hackney was the man who was fouled. Middlesbrough appear to have taken the free kick already. Howson. Completely different game to Saturday, as anticipated.
It is. And the throw-ins that Middlesbrough have actually, some of them even gone sidewards or backwards, rather than being launched into the box, and very different challenge.
Will never catch on. The ball on the halfway line with Berg, and now Hackney. He gets it back again. Bogle can't get there, but Rodon will. Nicely into the path of Piroe. Aaronson will go after that one, but it's taken away from him. But then Bogle's done well to back him up, and he doesn't win the throw-in for Leeds, but the ball was momentarily kept out of the possession of Middlesbrough, who go back with that throw-in, as if to emphasise the point. And Howson is in possession for them at the back now. Short ball to Morris, and back to Howson again. Return ball. Morris moves forward. Still going. Piroe tried to foul him, failed, but Ampadu was given the ball anyway. On to Piroe it goes. Lays it off his body.
Oh.
Solomon is to his left. There were runners through the
James,
middle.
Yeah.
Solomon is into Piroe just on the edge of the D. Piroe controls it in there, quickly closed down by a wall of red shirts. The ball is up in the air in the middle of the Middlesbrough half, and the home side emerge with it. But then Firpo comes in and wins it back well for Leeds. To Solomon down this left-hand side, back into the path of Firpo on the edge of the area. Just puts it up round the penalty spot, and when it goes all the way across, it's going to be a race on between Bogle over there and Iling-Junior. Players sliding into the challenges, crowd enjoying that. Leeds end up with a throw-in.
Oh, he couldn't quite find that vital bit of space to put the ball into, but we're knocking it around well, getting forward well. Controlled possession, just got to be patient. We'll find another chance, another opportunity.
Half an hour gone. Gruev on the ball for Leeds. Now Ethan Ampadu to Mana Solomon. Turns it wide to Firpo.
Dijksteel then, I thought he could have actually intercepted if he went forward.
Very
Instead
slow,
he just
wasn't he? Stood
went
on
backwards.
his heels.
Yeah.
Gruev, centre circle with Ampadu now, and back to Gruev once more. Solomon waits to the left, through the middle to Piroe. Now he can play to Firpo, and now Firpo can give it to Mana Solomon. Solomon comes back to Junior Firpo as Middlesbrough get their shape back behind the ball. In the centre circle is Ethan Ampadu. Firpo waits to the left of Ampadu. It's in the centre circle. Tanaka back to Ampadu once more. Back it comes to Gruev. Gruev is under pressure, so just turns it back to Darlow, who's outside the penalty area. Now Tanaka ahead of him. Tanaka short ball to Rodon, across the back to Ampadu, closed down by Burgzorg. Still does well, really well, controls it, gets it away, keeps it away from Burgzorg, and then passes it to Gruev, who can now push it into the path of Firpo. Just cuts it back. Leeds are plenty forward ahead of Firpo there. Playing it around at the back at the moment. Then Ampadu switches play out wide. Great spread ball to Bogle down the right for Leeds United. Pushing forward now, Jayden Bogle plays it into space for Dan James, puts it into the middle. Oh, it's just behind Solomon. He's still in the box, facing the goal now. Onto Firpo on the overlap. Firpo tries to put it across the middle. Travers, the goalkeeper, comes, spreads himself and pushes it behind for a corner.
Oh, it's a wonderful play. Firstly on that right-hand side where Bogle fed James. Couldn't then get anyone on the end of it, and then down the left, Firpo just maybe a little dink, might have been the better ball. Here's the initial play. That's excellent. Middlesbrough back line kept him onside, and then when Solomon picks it up, it's a great overlap from Firpo. Just can't get it past. So many red shirts and the keeper.
And the corner that results is to be taken now by Mana Solomon. Whipped into the near post, but it's gone in low. It's caught Piroe, but he's managed to push it back to Solomon, who can roll it up to the edge of the area now on his right foot, curls it in, far post, still, the offside flag is up, and so Tanaka is not going to be able to celebrate the goal, and both sides have had one chalked off now.
Oh, I'd like to see that again. Hackney is the Boro man at the back stick, and when the ball comes off the boot, is he offside? Here's Tanaka, he comes inside. Oh,
he's on.
I think he's onside. I think he is onside. That split decision of where the linesman referee looks to see Tanaka. You're right, you'd think he's off, but he's not. Goes against us.
And he didn't think he was either, did he? As he's now trying to defend, but Middlesbrough played it into the middle. And Leeds are relieved because it was a really presentable chance for Iheanacho, but he leant back and he put it way high over the crossbar.
Iling-Junior does really well in his normal left-back position. And once he whips the ball back, Iheanacho coming onto it with his left foot, tries to do way too much with it. Instead of just getting over the ball and trying to hit the target, that is nowhere near.
Action at both ends. Leeds can count themselves unfortunate, we think, at one end.
But so close, isn't it? From going 2-0 up to 1-1. And those are the fine margins that we always talk about.
Rodon. I think predictably open game, this one. And the expectation was there was going to be a lot of chances, and that's what we're seeing here now. Leeds, great header from James, and he's pushed it into the path now of Mana Solomon down the right-hand side. Solomon at the edge of the penalty area and just back behind Tanaka. In it goes back to Solomon. There's players waiting, but he's gone long, and it's gone all the way across the area where there was nobody in a blue shirt. Firpo, though, arrives at the corner flag to give it to Brendan Aaronson. Aaronson back into the midfield to Ethan Ampadu. Ampadu's got Gruev to one side, and now Firpo just in from the touchline for Leeds. In it goes to Tanaka. Back to Firpo and Gruev. Ampadu in the centre circle to his left to Ilya Gruev. Short ball to Solomon. Back to Gruev once more. Trying to run forward here. Fouled. So as he goes down, fell pretty easily, to be fair, Ilya Gruev, but he had felt the contact. The referee had seen the contact. And Leeds United have a free kick, and there is a chance here that Leeds could maybe put this one in the penalty area, just in from the near side touchline. Mana Solomon, in the absence of Joe Rothwell, is the man most likely. He's the man most certain to take it here. He's the only one standing over the ball.
Well, Ampadu has gone up, Rodon's gone up, and Tanaka's gone up, and they've all actually headed towards the referee's assistant to say, you know what, you got it wrong.
Tanaka is, I don't think he's got a massive grasp of English, but he's making his point visually with his arms outstretched wide in that kind of quizzical international language manner.
Yeah, because as they were going up, they looked to the bench, and I think the bench told them that it was a goal.
Here's Solomon. Curls the ball into the penalty area. Headed clear. Picked up outside by James, who goes back into the centre circle to Bogle. He may opt to go all the way back to Darlow, and that's exactly what he does. Pushes it back to Jaden Bogle. Now Rodon to Ampadu and Gruev. He's gone over the top to the channel ball, and Piroe is almost trying to get in here. Defender Vandenberg stretched in ahead of him, just took it away from him, but he's also been unable to keep it in play. So Leeds end up with a corner kick.
I like that ball because it just mixes things up. As a defender, you need to be thinking, is it going short, is it going long? So by mixing it up, it really does give you the opportunity to find that space, and a good run from both Solomon and Piroe.
So Solomon again from this near side. Perhaps a little bit more height required on this one. Last one went in pretty low towards the near post. Definitely more height. Swerves into the box and then swerves beyond and out. And Tanaka, who was being held up by Azaz, could get nowhere near that. He goes out for a goal kick.
What is frustrating is Hackney there at the back stick on Tanaka, but when the defender isn't really looking at the ball there, you can see the cross, and he's definitely onside. And it's because Hackney's actually stationary as Tanaka's moving, but it comes off his foot. And he's certainly onside or level at worst.
Leeds winning good possession through that fine tackle by Ethan Ampadu. He has the ball back again. Firpo once more to the captain. Back it goes to Tanaka, the furthest back for Leeds currently, bar Darlow. Tanaka holds it in his own half, weighs up his options here. Middlesbrough wait and see what he chooses to do. Back to Darlow, out it goes to Rodon. He comes back to Darlow once more, chases on, so comes out the area to Ampadu, and now it's helped on for Firpo, and then into the path of Gruev, but it was all slightly off balance, and it comes off Gruev and out for a Middlesbrough throw in. Well,
Solomon made the run where he wasn't actually aware of the type of ball that Gruev was about to receive.
Ball is at the back with Vandenberg for Middlesbrough. And he has played it square to Howson. At Sheffield United 0, Millwall 1 is a half-time scoreline, as is Derby 0, Burnley 0. Ball played forward into the Leeds half. Rodon's header. Tanaka's not going to get there ahead of Azaz, so he comes back and does really well to then win it the second time of asking for Leeds, and James has given it away, and Middlesbrough have it back in Leeds half. Morris goes back towards the halfway line to Iling-Junior, and Iling-Junior back to Vandenberg, across to Howson. Howson moves over the halfway line for Middlesbrough now. Comes out to this near side to Burgzorg, and then back to Morris on the halfway line. And we're into the final 5 minutes of this first period. It's been an absorbing game.
It certainly has, and you can tell why Boro are looking at a playoff spot. They do play some nice, neat football.
Here they come again with Burgzorg coming inside. Burgzorg into the edge of the area, where Rodon will be happy just to clear onto the chest of Howson. To his right to Dijksteel. Dijksteel goes back to Howson on the halfway line. And then into the centre circle to Vandenberg. And out to his left to Iling-Junior. Puts it up the line, but puts it straight at Jaden Bogle, and it comes off Bogle and out for a Middlesbrough throw-in.
Against a side like Middlesbrough, I think it's really important. Concentration levels are key all the time. When it goes out, when it goes dead, sometimes players just switch off, but this Boro side, they pass well, they're bright, so they've just got to be aware all the time.
Back it comes to Howson, and then Dijksteel in the Middlesbrough half to Morris, who's been pressured by Aaronson. And then Hackney. Back it comes to Morris in the midfield. Out to Iheanacho. Iheanacho wearing the number 9 shirt from Middlesbrough, having arrived here. Lat having departed. And Middlesbrough moved down the left-hand side in the Leeds half by some distance now. Ball is picked up by Conway. And then it's Morris in midfield, still very much in Leeds territory. Hackney Plays it square to Howson, happy to help out going forward now. Johnny Howson to his right, where there's space for Burgzorg. Burgzorg curls his cross into the middle, and then there's a job done just by Jaden Bogle. Some hesitation in there. Wondered whether Darlow would come and deal with that, but it came off Bogle and went behind for a corner.
Well, he got it out of play. A little awkwardly, but did the job nonetheless. The space is there. Burgzorg feels a delicious ball, but no one from Boro is attacking that back stick.
So Middlesbrough with a corner opportunity, and the job has been delegated to Azaz, who's taken it short, and now it comes in. Well, actually it doesn't, but it's well blocked by Piroe. Middlesbrough pick up the second ball. Morris has it through the middle, and now Morris again, edge of the centre circle, sees a run down the left hand side, and it's put in first time, where it's well defended by Firpo. Leeds fans call for a handball, nothing doing, and then that looks like a foul. It is a foul. Dan James with the clever bit of skill to keep the ball away from his opponents, and as he beat them to it, they brought him down. Solomon,
yeah. I think it was Solomon, and it's a fancy trick, but Boro fell for it. Going nowhere. Always difficult to get out of that sort of hole, but Boro.
It's quite the place to do it, isn't
foul.
it?
Well, it is. I would suggest not to do it again.
Okay, interesting.
I may have a word with him as he runs past. Don't do that again.
Carl Darlow will take the free kick that resulted. Drops into the Middlesbrough half, over the head of Piroe. On that far side, it just gets hacked up in the air. Firpo's chasing underneath it, as is Burgzorg. Burgzorg falls to the floor, but under the challenge of Firpo, Middlesbrough have a free kick 6-7 yards inside the Leeds half. They've taken it quickly. Morris giving it away. Now it's broken nicely for Piroe through the middle. Looks up. James is trying to get alongside him, and Piroe stretched, but couldn't poke it into his path. And it's picked up in midfield by Azaz, and the opportunity for a counter-attack has gone. Middlesbrough trying to build instead from the halfway line, with Hackney on the ball for them now. Hackney down the channel for Morris. Good interception by Tanaka. Well, he needed to try and keep the ball, but he couldn't do that. Fell to the ground, and now it's Hackney bringing it forward. Bogle has done a block off, and then Tanaka's gone in again, but again Middlesbrough have emerged with possession, and now they have it with Iheanacho out, and Bogle's gone in. There's a little push from Bogle there that's conceded a free kick. Hackney stays down. Bogle's frustrated, but you could see that one coming, and it's a Middlesbrough free kick with the Leeds penalty area very much in range.
Bogle's annoyed with someone, but when you go to close down, you've got to quickly sprint, get there, and then slow up and go straight into the man. Hackney clever, got his body in the way, and won the free kick.
So Leeds put a two-man wall in front of the ball, and we have one added minute, and we're into it. And Middlesbrough have this free kick opportunity to put the ball into the Leeds penalty area. Referee steps away from the crowd scene on the edge of the box. Middlesbrough hesitate, curled in, forwards, and it's bobbling around in the box, and it's hacked clear by Joe Rodon. Good work in there by Gruev, just to make sure it didn't break into the path of the two oncoming Middlesbrough players. Middlesbrough pick the ball up in the centre circle now, with Dijksteel to Morris, and then Morris once more on the side of the centre circle. Berg, and there's space down the left for Azaz, and Azaz will put the ball into the penalty area. Heads up from Firpo, heads it down and away, not very far though. Middlesbrough pick it up. That's the last action of a fantastic first half, and it's Leeds United who have the edge. An early goal from Dan James is the difference between the two teams. Leeds will feel somewhat aggrieved that perhaps Tanaka's goal was ruled out for offside. As the two sides head to the tunnel, it's still just that slender advantage with the away side, because it's Middlesbrough 0, Leeds United 1.
Yes, of a really entertaining first 45 minutes, but more importantly, I think we started well. We controlled large spells of the game, and then we were really organised defensively. Middlesbrough came back after we scored our goal, but I thought at times we looked dangerous on the counter-attack. Just a little bit more quality in that last third. We will get more chances. Very unfortunate not to go in 2-0, but at 1-0, and the way we're playing, still a big 45 minutes to come, but we're looking good.
So far, so good. Lots more to come. Half-time scoreline, Middlesbrough 0, Leeds United 1. Middlesbrough will get the game underway. And the Leeds United fans watch on from the far side as we see it. Opposite side to the TV gantry, we're sitting in right on the halfway line, right in the very back row of the main stand here at the Riverside Stadium.
Yes, and it's a great view. You can see everything that's going on. And let's hope in their second half we see another goal for the good guys, and that's us. But it's going to be tough. We know that. Half-time team talk is really important at this stage. I'm not sure Daniel Farkin will need to have said too much, because I thought they played really well, but it is just making sure we keep that level high.
Travers with the clearance from the penalty area into the Leeds half. Ampadu nods it forward, flicked on by Piroe, by Aaronson rather, and then it's helped back to Travers once more. Piroe is the man pushing on, but Travers has cleared into the centre circle. Tanaka wins a header. On it goes to Aaronson. His pass is heavy, so it doesn't arrive at the feet of Gruev, but then a couple of challenges on the halfway line, possibly Firpo, maybe Tanaka. One of them is a foul. Middlesbrough have a free kick.
Yes, I think maybe Gruev there just grabbing Burgzorg and spinning him around.
Out to this near side it comes, where Bogle will chase alone for the time being and let the ball run out for a goal kick. As Conway was never able to get close to that, neither Azaz. Darlow takes a short goal kick to Ethan Ampadu. Ampadu out to Gruev, back to Ampadu once more. Pushes it back to Ilya Gruev, to his left to Junior Firpo, up the line to Solomon, forced all the way back into his own half. Well, he's conceded the throw in there. Now, is it a throw in, or is there a potential for a foul? Solomon has rolled away from the challenge for sure. He's rolled off the pitch now, so the game can technically continue. He's back on it again. He's back on his feet again.
Just looking, I wonder if he get stepped on.
I think he did, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
That was the only thing that could have prompted that reaction. The game starts with a throw-in, nevertheless. Middlesbrough in possession in their own half. Berg to Morris. Happy to go back to the goalkeeper. Out it goes to Howson. Howson into the middle to Hackney. The blue shirts are plenty around him, but it breaks well for Iheanacho. Middlesbrough on the halfway line. Now Azaz drops a shoulder, moving forward. Great challenge by Tanaka. And now there's a potential counter-attack on if Leeds can play the right ball here. Aaronson gets the ball caught under his feet. Tanaka comes in to help him out again and does really, really well. Gruev now, on it goes to Piroe. Bit of forward momentum before Piroe holds it up and turns back to Firpo. Exactly what's required in the midfield from Tanaka there.
It is a bit of bite, a bit of steel, win those challenges, get the crowd going, win the ball back and move forward.
Tanaka to Gruev. And back again. Returns the ball once more. Gruev to his left to Firpo. Socks down, back to Gruev and into his own half to Ampadu. Short pass forward to Tanaka and Ampadu once more. Now Joe Rodon. Now Ethan Ampadu. To his left is Gruev, into the middle Tanaka, back to Gruev again. Halfway line. Now backwards to Ampadu. Bogle waits on this near side, and now there's a long crossfield ball to pick out Jayden Bogle. Controls it, takes it down out the air, and then comes back to the halfway line to Rodon, marching on together. Booms out from the travelling fans. Boos and whistles from the home supporters in response. Ampadu to Tanaka and back again. Straight ball to Solomon. Gruev to his left and forward to Firpo. Back to Gruev again. Leeds in possession with Ampadu in the Leeds half. Across the back to Rodon. Rodon out to James. Controls nicely. Comes in field at pace. Still going Dan James. Still going Dan James. Runner is Firpo in the penalty area. Into the middle. It's Piroe. Turns goalwards. Great save from Travers. Firpo puts it up in the air and it takes a deflection behind, and that's a corner kick. Leeds so close to the second.
It's excellent play, and the way we kept the ball so very well at the back. Eventually come out to Dan James, who just runs diagonally, beats everyone and plays a great ball to Junior Firpo. Just slightly behind him, but when it does come into Joel Piroe, does well just to somehow get it around the defender, shoot, but good save.
Short corner, edge of the box, Solomon curls it into the area, breaks in the favour of Middlesbrough. Leeds have won it back. Solomon tried to carry it into the box, couldn't do it, given away straight back to Dan James. James just outside the area, his ball breaks into his... managed to work it into the penalty area, still for Solomon, across the middle. Aaronson tries to juggle and control, can't turn it goalwards, and Middlesbrough finally are able to clear and then break down the right hand side. The chase is on down that far side with Conway on the ball for Middlesbrough. In it comes to Iheanacho, but then it's well blocked, and Leeds can counter-attack now if Firpo can pick out the pass. On the halfway line, Firpo goes down under a challenge from Hackney and is happy to take the free kick, and we can breathe.
How haven't we got a second goal? And just there, Solomon, he's offside, so Firpo can't play it to him. Had to take it on his own, but really good play in and around the box. Middlesbrough just hacking it anywhere. We keep picking it up, but getting each other's way, and I just think Aaronson a better first touch. And he's then in on goal. Instead, he's had to twist and turn and juggle. By that time, the chance is gone.
Tanaka in the Middlesbrough half. Spreads it wide. Nice ball to James. Takes it down on his chest. Level with the edge of the box. Moving parallel with it now. James puts it up far side where he could see that Solomon was waiting. It didn't quite arrive for him, though. Firpo gets it into the path of Solomon now. Trying to turn to work the ball down that far side for Leeds. Comes back for Firpo. Firpo infield to Tanaka. Tanaka looks and plays into Solomon, who's in the area. Comes back out to Tanaka again. Turns and then loses the ball. Ran into trouble there, out Tanaka. Won it back really well. And then Middlesbrough end up with a second ball. And this frenetic game continues with the home side in possession. Morris.
Oh, it's been played at some pace, isn't it? We just can't find that second goal, but got to be careful as well not to overcommit or give it away in a dangerous area. But Middlesbrough here will be delighted to get a few passes in and take a breather.
They have the ball in the Leeds half. Down the Middlesbrough left. Iling-Junior back to the halfway line to Morris. Onto the centre circle to Howson. Back to Morris once more. Aidan Morris on the halfway. Goes inside the challenge of Aaronson. Still has it. And then short pass to Berg. Back to Morris halfway line. Lays it to his left to Berg. Operating as a left back, the central defender. Further forward to Iling-Junior. Well, Iling-Junior, it was clearly going to be intended to be a cross, but it actually came bizarrely off his boot and almost for a moment looked like it might be flying towards goal, but it went wide and behind, and it's a goal kick.
Just trying to put it in with a load of pace. He needed to, because the space between the defenders and the keeper was getting smaller, but gets it slightly wrong.
Darlow in the 6-yard box. Plays it forwards out to this near side touchline where James, I think he's won the flick on there, but that means, oh no, he hasn't. That's a Leeds throw in because it didn't come off his head. It came off Iling-Junior. So Bogle on the halfway line is given the ball by the fourth official. Throws it back to Joe Rodon. Rodon further back to Carl Darlow. Darlow across the box to his left to Ethan Ampadu. Ampadu, short ball back to Ilya Gruev. Gruev turns and plays it back to Ampadu once more. Back it goes to Gruev again. Out to Bogle on this right side, spreads it a little. Bogle down the channel. Oh, he's got James in. James is moving into the penalty area. Dan James puts it across the middle. Oh, it's just ahead of Solomon at the far post and inches away from a tap-in and 2-0.
Just needed a bit of composure on the cross. We saw Solomon give it to James in the first half. Unfortunately, James couldn't give Solomon the same ball in the second, and the space was there. It's an easy ball. Iling-Junior gets caught underneath it. Now pass it. Instead, just fires it across. Players had to slow up because they're getting ahead of the ball. And a chance goes again.
Big chance. Rodon with a defensive header. Bounces behind Hackney. And he has the ball now for Middlesbrough in the Leeds half. Tucks it back to Morris. Centre circle. Howson to Berg. 55th minute. Iling-Junior. Into Morris. Morris across the centre circle. Dijksteel. Further wide it goes to Burgzorg. Back into Dijksteel again in the Middlesbrough half. Dijksteel forced all the way back to Travers by the press from Solomon. Travers pushes it back out the penalty area to Morris once more. Morris, short pass, Azaz, back to keeper, and out to Howson. Now Azaz in a deep lying roll for Middlesbrough, wide to Dijksteel, into the feet of Morris. Morris is a little under pressure from Aaronson, but he's done well, push the ball forward to Iheanacho. Now Middlesbrough through the middle with Azaz. The ball's come out to this near side to Iling-Junior, back into his own half it goes to Berg. Now Howson returns the pass to Berg. Near side, Iling-Junior is taking on Bogle, and he's got away from Bogle, and he's up to the edge of the penalty area, and he's crossed into the middle, and waiting on the far side is Azaz, and he's put his shot high over the crossbar. Well, he was looking straight at goal there, and there was nobody in his way, and he had time, and he got it all wrong, and Leeds are relieved that that was the case.
Well, first touch, didn't get it out of his feet. Instead, he got it stuck. Had to have a swing at it. And of course, he leant back. Good ball across. Get it out your feet. Instead, it's right there. He had so much time and space as well. Just goes to that right-hand side, puts him off.
A real swipe through. Over it went. Massive chance. Bogle back to Rodon. Just knew there was going to be another chance at the other end, didn't you, after Leeds had missed that really good opportunity to go 2 up in this game.
So often, doesn't it?
Ah, yeah, absolutely. And Middlesbrough come again. Good header from Rodon with Conway waiting behind for the cross. Middlesbrough just outside the Leeds penalty area. Morris goes wide to his right to Burgzorg. Cross comes off the heels of Firpo. Middlesbrough throw in. Just up from the corner flag. Back it goes to Morris. Looking towards the edge of the penalty area, and then comes back to Azaz, and back to Morris once more. Hackney, he'd almost given it away, but they've got it back again. Hackney into the middle, shot across goal! And it goes all the way across goal, and it goes out and behind on the far side. And again, Leeds have reason to be grateful.
Well, we certainly do. Could have easily cleared it earlier in the move. Instead, Boro plays some lovely football. There is where Solomon just could have intercepted. Instead, they quickly play a few 1-2s. Difficult angle. Try and find that bottom corner, and he misses.
Leeds. Short goal kick to Darlow. He plays it out to this right side. Dan James will challenge and win a header, but it's beyond Aaronson. It's picked up by Hackney on the halfway line. Hackney to his right. Burgzorg's skip past Firpo. Still has the ball. Burgzorg out wide right side, comes back again. And Middlesbrough in possession with Morris in that Leeds half. Azaz to his left to Berg. And now to Iling-Junior, pushing forward, step over. Iling-Junior into the penalty area, and the shot is blocked from Conway. And it's out to Hackney, and Hackney's effort goes straight into the hands of Darlow.
Best bit of pressure now from the home side. Good volley, catches it well, but maybe too well. Darlow nice and comfortable behind that one.
And it's like Middlesbrough have been encouraged by that Leeds miss to really have a go now. Leeds trying to weather the storm and react with Bogle over the top for James, down the right. Defenders there ahead of it. Gives it back to Travers, gives it straight to Aaronson. Aaronson 15 yards outside the area into Solomon. Now Tanaka. Oh, it's just too far ahead. It's not a good ball from Tanaka. Solomon couldn't get to it. Foul in there by Piroe on Morris. It's midway inside the Middlesbrough half. And it will be a free kick to the home team.
Well, this stage of the game now, it's very important. We haven't managed to get that second goal. Home side always going to have a spell where they come on strong. We've got to weather the storm, see it out. Now we also want the mentality of going out there and winning the game rather than not making a mistake. Be positive, but get that energy. I just wonder, substitutions, when will they start to happen?
Middlesbrough coming with Iheanacho in the Leeds half. Laid off for Hackney. Played through the middle. It's too heavy. Conway ain't getting there. And Darlow does. And Leeds have an issue here with a player who has been caught, Tanaka. And so he stayed down in a bit of a heap. And may yet require treatment. I think Middlesbrough are beginning to consider that they will be making changes soon. Will Leeds United do something similar?
Just got a boot, didn't he, from Iheanacho. And the ball was certainly on, but always way too heavy.
So when the game restarts, the referee will, I think, give the ball back to Darlow. He does. Tanaka is okay to continue for now. Doesn't look in great shape, but hopefully there's quick recovery as it's rolled out by Darlow to Ampadu. Comes back to the goalkeeper. Darlow plays it forward. Piroe will challenge, but it goes beyond him and Howson. It just carries through to Iling-Junior. Gives it back to Johnny Howson. Now Morris for Middlesbrough. Hackney sets off again. Hackney's played the ball and it's gone into Burgzorg, who's in the penalty area. Shoots, Darlow saves from close range. It's put over his own crossbar by Bogle. And Leeds caught again there, and the goalkeeper has kept it as it is.
Need to certainly get closer. That was too easy. He slipped in between the centre half and Junior Firpo and Burgzorg. He was in. Timing of the run was good. I think Rodon just about playing him on. Good save initially. Gets his body in the way.
Leeds still defending. Ball into the edge of the penalty area. Flicked in. Hackney saw his ball headed away by Ampadu. Out as far as Morris. Morris, short ball. And then Middlesbrough work it down the right-hand side once more. And again, the push forward is by Iling-Junior on this occasion over on that side. Leeds have it back with Solomon, but he's stuck in the corner. Gets it forward to Tanaka. Now they've got it out into space. Now Aaronson can get on this one, and he's played it into the path of Bogle, who charges over the halfway line. Ball in front of him. Still going Jaden Bogle up to the edge of the penalty area now. Bodies arrive in blue shirts as Bogle checks back. Little ball tucked into the path of James. Puts it across the middle. Put too much on it, and it's gone all the way out over the far side touchline from the near side of the penalty area.
And that isn't the ball that's required either. Just all of a sudden now, composure in the last third has just deserted us. Just need that bit of quality. One good ball and we can get that second goal, but getting into good areas, final delivery just isn't there.
Well, Middlesbrough have made a bit of a mess getting the ball away there, and they've given away a throw-in right by the corner flag. And Junior Firpo is walking forward very slowly to take it for Leeds United. In front of those Leeds United fans, whose voices are raised. Middlesbrough ready to make a change. Morgan Whittaker is the man, attacking player. Big money signing for them in January. Who's going to come on? Former Plymouth man. Ampadu. Back to the halfway line to Rodon. Over the top it goes for Mana Solomon, perhaps here, off the head of Howson. Defended it well. Gives it back to Travers. Travers puts it up in the air. Ampadu wins the header. Forward again. Heads up again. And then Iheanacho back to Morris. And Solomon's got in to steal it back for Leeds United, and he's played it into Piroe, who's in the penalty area, who's cut it back, and again it's not quite the right ball with Leeds bodies arriving. And Piroe put it behind everybody, and Middlesbrough pick it up, and now they it is who try and break, but the ball is given away to Junior Firpo. Well, this is the kind of basketball game that Daniel Farker has told us before he is not a big fan of.
Basket case rather than basketball, because this is just one good ball away from being 2-0 and a very different game, but we just can't find it.
The change being made by Middlesbrough, and big roar for Whittaker, and Iheanacho departs. And Whittaker gets a big roar of appreciation from the home supporters as the ball is thrown back by Bogle and then pushed back from Rodon to Darlow. Darlow to his left to Gruev. Moves forward. Still going, it's tight, and he goes down. He's got a free kick. He's been fouled there. As Gruev.
Well, he was just waiting for the challenge, gets his body in the way, and the arm duly came out, and down he goes.
Back it comes from the throw-in to Darlow eventually. He's played it out to Bogle, under a bit of pressure. Helps it up the line to James. Infield to Aaronson. Aaronson skips past the challenge, but loses out in the second, but actually he's been helped because he's been awarded a free kick.
Azaz with the challenge. I actually think he gets a bit of the ball, but he also gets a bit of Aaronson. Studs might have been up, so that's what the ref possibly saw.
Aaronson just back on his feet now. Leeds are going to make two changes here. Byram and Gnonto are due to come on for Leeds. From the back, Gruev, back to Ampadu. Ampadu to Rodon. Bogle waits and gets the ball off him now. On it goes to James. James comes back to Bogle. Bogle back to Rodon. Cross to Ampadu. Out further wide to Gruev. Infield again to Ampadu. Looks for the crossfield ball. Bogle, now there's space in front of Jayden Bogle, so he could move this one forward. Plays it into James in the middle, plays it on to Solomon, into the path of Piroe, helps it into Aaronson, and then a whistle has gone, and looked like a Leeds corner, but is there a handball in there? There's a handball call from the crowd anyway.
And it's been given to Boro.
Leeds wanted to make their substitutions, and now they're told they can make their substitutions. So the first change sees Mana Solomon being replaced by Willie Gnonto. And then the second change, we'll see Junior Firpo replaced by Sam Byram. And neither player is in a massive hurry to get off here.
Nor do they need to be, but I think this sort of game, certainly for Gnonto, he's got 20-odd minutes to show what he can do. Luton, that physicality, the ball up in the air, maybe that wasn't quite the game for him. This one, I think, certainly is. So we need to see him. We need to see something from him in this last 20-odd minutes. And Byram for Firpo, I think now it's defensively, make sure we're nice and strong. And Byram will certainly try and shut down the threat of Burgzorg over there, and Whittaker if he comes over.
Well, Daniel Farker's just taken a long time to explain to Junior Firpo why he's been substituted, because he didn't look happy, and neither did Mana Solomon. Wanted to stay on, but Daniel Farker has explained his reasoning to the fullback at least. Leeds throw in. Bogle takes his time, much to the annoyance of the home supporters. Short to James. Heads on the halfway line from Iling-Junior. Tanaka takes it down, flicks it forward. Gnonto's touch to James. Tries to put it back to Gnonto. Could he get in front? He can. And he can push it back to Byram. And Byram will check back and give it to Ampadu. And Ampadu further back to Joe Rodon. And Rodon out to this right side, and Jayden Bogle. Up the line from Bogle. Good looking ball. And the defensive clearance from Iling-Junior takes it into touch for a Leeds United throw-in right in front of Michael Carrick.
Dan James has gone down. He said I need to get off. Now he's got back up again. Okay, Dan, if there's something wrong, stay down. He's signalled to the bench to get him off, and now he's jumped back up. This is strange.
Well, it's either a miracle recovery, well, he may be tested shortly because the ball is with Bogle and James is his recipient of the line. He's asking Bogle to play it into touch here, Dan James.
He doesn't want to.
He wants to get off.
Yeah, but he should go down.
Darlow. Ampadu has to help it out to Gruev. Oh, it's given away by Gruev. And now Hackney, and it's on the into the penalty area, and it's a block on the edge that is vital from Joe Rodon, because Leeds had created the problems for themselves. Aaronson carries it forward, needs to release it, doesn't manage to do it, but Byram picks it up for Leeds anyway. Gnonto is to his left. James is just a passenger for Leeds now, as Leeds go down the left-hand side, other side of the pitch from him. Byram is on into the penalty area. Byram trying to put it back into the middle for Piroe, but it's blocked and cleared. And Middlesbrough keep possession. And then there's a foul given away, and now finally James does go down as the whistle is blown for a Middlesbrough free kick. And it looks like Leeds are going to have to make another change. In fact, they're making 2 more changes here. Schmidt is going to come on, and Bamford is going to come on. Which of those is going to come on for James initially? Presumably Schmidt.
Well, Dan James has been wanting to come off for a good couple of minutes there, and he did go down, then he jumped up again. And this doesn't look good because it must be muscular of some sort.
Dan James is receiving treatment now. And Leeds will be forced into a change here. And I wonder whether there's a rethink going on. Well, now Schmidt is still clearly going to be the first man on here, and Bamford is going to follow him as well. We can see the 33 and the 9 down below us. And it's not a change that Daniel Farke will have wanted to make, I'm sure, this one.
No, certainly not, but this is when he was through the ball across, just a bit of composure, a bit less power behind it, and we just slotted in. Sometimes think in those situations as well, the ball earlier rather than extra touch becomes easier. There's more space to put it in, but haven't quite been able to find that second goal.
James walks off, and so Schmidt will walk on. He's moving fairly comfortably, James, but obviously not something there that has made him unhappy.
No, but I think he felt it, didn't he, straight away, which is good, rather than go for another sprint.
So that's the first change. I think Piroe will be the second shortly for Bamford. He's heading towards the touchline now. Yeah, that is the second change here. So the former Middlesbrough man, he is coming on here at the Riverside. Piroe departs. The breath hangs heavy in the air now as the chill sets in. Leeds United with 2 more changes, 73rd minute and 1 goal in it still. Bamford's name rings out from the travelling fans, encouraging him.
Well, I think against Luton there was a few encouraging moments from Bamford when he came on. We need to see that and a bit more.
Big changes for Leeds. Schmidt with a job to do down this near side. James always such a willing worker for Leeds, and Middlesbrough have it with Azaz. Puts the ball into the penalty area. Conway lays it back to Hackney just outside the area. Curls his shot wide. Never really set himself properly there, Hackney, and Darlow watched it go all the way.
Never confident of what he was going to do there. Trying, of course, find that top corner, but nowhere near. Now, Schmidt's come out to this right-hand side, so straight swap for Dan James. Gnonto on the left, swap for Solomon. Aaronson stays in the number 10 position, and Bamford up top.
Byram, oh, he slipped, and he's lost the ball, and then he's handled the ball, and that'll be a free kick Middlesbrough, and it could well be a yellow card for Sam Byram. Oh no, it's a yellow card for the Middlesbrough player.
And Byram.
For demanding the yellow card.
Yeah.
And then they've taken a quick free kick, which actually had been given away, but the referee has stopped it because he's now shown the yellow to Byram for a deliberate handball as he slipped and lost possession. Middlesbrough free kick, well in sight of the Leeds United penalty area.
So Aidan Morris is the Boro player that got the yellow card. I hate seeing that when you put that imaginary card up. The referee saw it, but Byram there slipped and used his hand.
So defending for Leeds to do here. Middlesbrough pushed plenty up. Ball is over to the right-hand side as we watch. A line of blue shirts across the, just inside the penalty box as it's curled in, and the head's got Darlow with a good punch clear. And it bounces, and now the counter-attack is on for Leeds as Schmidt carries it. Gnonto's flying one side, and Gnonto is played in now. Gnonto has the ball for Leeds, onto the edge of the penalty area. Bamford! Bamford! Yes! Patrick offside. Bamford's offside! And the celebrations once more cut short, as Bamford thought his moment had arrived, and the ref's assistant had another idea.
Oh, I'd like to see that again as well. I think that's a lot closer than everyone thinks, but once again, a really good counter. We've outnumbered the Boro defenders, yet we can't quite put it again in the back of the net. You can see Schmidt does well, and Gnonto, the ball. Oh, for goodness sake.
He's miles on.
Onside again. Oh. I thought it was close at the time, because always happens when a defender is just stationary. By the time you look up at the pass, you see the opposition, the attacker, a yard kind of offside, so you think, but he's just timed the run and the pass to perfection.
Ball is on the edge of the Middlesbrough penalty area. It goes back to the keeper, Travers, pushes it out to Morris. Schmidt tries to pressure him, but Morris keeps him away from the ball and gives it to Iling-Junior. Iling-Junior into the Leeds half, and Conway, now Azaz. Back into his own half to Morris. Morris. The Leeds fans, I think, are getting wind of the fact that there have been 2 erroneously ruled out goals in this game, because they are not happy. Iling-Junior for Middlesbrough. Little back heel comes off Bogle and goes out for a Boro throw, which is pushed back into the path of Morris. And now Hackney, and into the centre circle to Howson. Big puff of the cheeks from Daniel Farker down below. He knows. Ball straight forward to Azaz. Keeps it away from Tanaka. And then Morris plays it into the edge of the area to Conway. Plays it out to this near side. And the ball comes off Bogle, and he wins it well back for Leeds United to have the chance to clear. Just chips it forward. Bamford can't get there with a header. Behind him to Van den Berg. Van den Berg, oh, it's a terrible back pass, and he's given away the corner. Shocker, absolute shocker.
Well, you say shocker. I
like
that's
it.
All right. Yeah, I love it. That's great. Oh, this is one crazy game. Somehow it's still only 1-0.
There should be 3.
It should be. It should be 3. And here's the onside goal. It's been disallowed, but the timing of the pass is perfect. The run's perfect. Dijksteel, because he stands still, falls the referee's assistant over there.
It's a poor decision.
Well,
though,
it is, because he's looking
ball.
across the line. It's not as if he's sprinting. And benefit of the doubt, is he absolutely certain he's offside? He can't be. So it should stand.
Well, these days, the 4th official will be relaying potentially to his officiating pals that was a mistake. Near post corner. Comes out, Aaronson can't control. Gnonto! Oh, I fancied Gnonto from that position, but he got it all wrong, and it's sliced behind, and it's a goal kick.
That's half a chance again. Just got to try and control the volley. It's not easy, but that wasn't a great effort.
Middlesbrough in possession with Iling-Junior. And then Morris. And back it goes to Howson. Out to Van den Berg. Forward to Iling-Junior. Iling-Junior comes in field. Comes back to Morris. On to Hackney. Hackney's moving forward. Plays it into the edge of the area. Azaz back to Hackney. So first shot is blocked. Comes back out, and the second shot is wide. And Burgzorg looks to the heavens, because that is another really good chance for Middlesbrough, and he got his shot all wrong.
Right, it certainly is. And Burgzorg just snatched at it and pulls it straight into the ground. I think it was Rodon who was beaten there, but Ampadu just gets his body in the way. Fortunate ricochet out to Burgzorg, and he can't finish.
Change made. Burgzorg, that was his last action, and he walks off an angry man. Forss has come on to replace him. The game will restart with a Leeds goal kick. And Carl Darlow preparing to take it. Darlow plays it long into that Boro half, where Bamford's battling with Van den Berg. Comes down for Gnonto. Bamford takes it off him, spreads the ball to his left to Byram. Leeds advance. And then back it comes to Aaronson. Ampadu on the halfway line, across the halfway line to Rodon. Into Schmidt. Needs a good ball from Isaac Schmidt. Gives it to short to Bogle. Bogle's pushed to the ground there. An impetuous challenge from Iling-Junior that Leeds will be more than happy with. Back it goes into Rodon. And then Ampadu. Ampadu over the top. Ah, it's a shame, because Byram had thought about setting off, but the ball was too far ahead and he wasn't getting to that one.
Always too straight, that ball. Just got to get set again, get in our positions.
The ball with Van den Berg to Howson. Howson holds onto the ball. Leeds fans doing the bit here. These are big minutes, big minutes. Middlesbrough attacking. Tanaka trying to win it. Still Middlesbrough with Azaz. Little foot in there. Tanaka's continued his backward run to get it into Darlow, who's just whacked it forward. And well, Bamford will go up against Howson here. Howson does really well to win the ball and carry it forward for Middlesbrough, and played into the channel, but straight to Ampadu. Ampadu showed too much, but then a challenge, and it's carried forward, and it's Howson again who goes down on the edge of the area, but it's a clean challenge, and it's a shame because Tanaka's put it into touch, and if he could have put it into the path of Gnonto, he was off, but it's out for a throw-in instead.
He was, and we've got to be strong and tight at the back. We will intercept, we will have chances on the counter, but somehow we have to see this moment through, see this last 8 minutes plus extra time through.
Well, here you go, folks. Sheffield United 0, Millwall 1 is a full-time score.
Wow.
And that's the Leeds fans who are raising their voices now. This one is heading towards its conclusion, but there's a lot more football you feel to be played. Azaz for Middlesbrough, just outside the Leeds penalty area. Hackney has it into Azaz, turns goalwards, puts it low across the middle. Well, Bogle has let it run across his body. Conway waited behind and didn't react. Now it's put into the area again, out to the far side. Shot goalwards is blocked, and Rodon heads a looping ball clear. Leeds trying to get out, but Middlesbrough win it back again in the centre circle with Howson. Howson out to his right-hand side. Chance to put the ball into the Leeds penalty area. Hold it up and give it back to Morris, into the middle to Howson once more, pushing forward. Challenge by Bamford is a good one, but Leeds have got everybody back when the ball is cleared forward. And so Middlesbrough pick it up with Travers miles out of the penalty area now. Derby 0, Burnley 0 is also a full-time scoreline. 7 minutes remaining.
We've got to make sure we push up here as well, don't just sit in. When we do get the ball, show some composure and keep it.
Middlesbrough in the Leeds half with Morris on the ball. Morris moves it forward through the channel, edge of the area. Azaz into the box, and just a foot in from Byram, and a clearance into touch from Ampadu as Tony Dorigo's head hits the desk.
Listen, it's a good clearance, okay, it's out, but we can't just keep booting it out and soaking up more pressure again. When I say about going and winning a game, it's also about being brave on the ball when we're in these sort of positions, but need some calmness now.
Iling-Junior for Middlesbrough, well up in the Leeds half. Schmidt,
well done
well.
Yeah.
Plays it on to Bamford. Bamford's fouled. Wins a good foul for Leeds United there, Patrick Bamford.
It's like he was twisting in the air before the challenge came. I'm going down. And rightly so. And that's good play.
Bogle walks slowly across to the near side, just in from the touchline to take it. And then he doesn't, he leaves it for Darlow. So Darlow's come a long way out the penalty area to take this free kick, just in from the touchline. Darlow respots the ball, so it's a bit more infield now. And Carl Darlow is told to get on with it, so he does. Played up into the Middlesbrough half. Bamford battling, gets a little header down to the edge of the area. Howson clears forward for Middlesbrough. Rodon's underneath it, loops his header back into the Boro half, comes back into Leeds territory. Bogle's underneath it, just puts it up in the air. It drops in the Middlesbrough half beyond the head of Schmidt, and Schmidt goes in to win another ball and flicks it on, looking to try and get Bamford in. And then Gruev's battling in there, and Aaronson stayed down as Middlesbrough emerged with possession on the halfway line. Iling-Junior, back it goes into Morris. Morris in the centre circle, forced to go back a little way to Howson. Howson across the centre circle to Berg, and now Hayden Hackney. Hackney edges the ball forward into Leeds half. Iling-Junior waits in from the touchline, plays it back to Berg. A lot of space in front of Howson here in the Leeds half. Into the edge, almost of the area. Comes out on that far side, and then it's Morris who has it. He turns and he looks towards the penalty area, and then it's ferried across to Hackney. Hackney's 10 yards out into the box. It's whacked away by Ampadu, and there's nobody forward again for Leeds when it goes into that Boro half. So Travers comes out to collect and just push it short to Berg. Now Azaz. Azaz checks back and then moves parallel across the Leeds half before going to Howson the outlet once more. Out it goes wide to the right-hand side. Comes back in field and then played straight to Aaronson. Right ball required. And Bamford didn't quite make it. And Berg over on the right side has won it back for Middlesbrough. Aaronson goes in for Leeds but can't get to it. And Hackney has it on the edge of the area. And he cuts it back for the shot. And the shot flies over the crossbar. And Darlow made a half-hearted attempt to dive, but he knew, I think, that one was going way beyond. And the effort that came in from Whittaker didn't trouble him.
All right, this is where I need to see Ampadu giving out some instructions. He's talking to the ref, he's talking to one or two. Deep breaths, lads. Get that oxygen in those lungs. We don't quite look full of energy, do we? And it's because we keep giving it away. It's a lot easier when you have the ball.
Another change scheduled by Leeds here, and Guilavogui is going to come on as Darlow delays the goal kick. Now he takes it into the Middlesbrough half. Bamford can't get there. Can Gnonto? He can. He's played it out to this right side. Bamford stretches his legs to keep the ball in play down by the corner flag for Leeds. Just rolls it into Schmidt, takes it back out to the corner himself, and then tries to work it forward, but in doing so, it's gone out and gone behind, and it's a Middlesbrough goal kick. And Travers is in a hurry to get the game going again here now. Out it goes to Howson. And into the middle to Hackney. Hackney carrying it and then pushing it to Azaz on the touchline for Middlesbrough in the Leeds half. Back to Iling-Junior. Iling-Junior turns, then looks forwards once more, and then looks back to Azaz with a short ball. Every Middlesbrough player well up in that Leeds half. Howson pushing ever further forward. Out wide right again it goes for the cross into the penalty area, into the middle. Rodon's header goes straight up, and then it'll be headed away by Ampadu, and then Gruev can't pick it up just outside the penalty area. Comes back for Howson once more, just pushes it wide to that right side, and then it's brought into the middle and across the middle to Iling-Junior. Puts his cross in the penalty area, headed away by Byram. Comes back out for Howson. Middlesbrough keep it with Howson once more in possession. Now Hackney in the middle, runs forward. Hackney still going. Great block made by Ampadu, but when it spins forward, comes only to Berg. Now Howson out to his right, the ball back into the middle. Leeds need to try and get up the park a little here.
Somehow get close to the ball. It's just the energy levels. We're trying to see this game out. Okay, the ball's in front of us a lot, but eventually it's going to end up in our last third, and they're going to put it in the box.
Last minute of the 90, Middlesbrough in possession in that edge of the penalty area, cleared away well by Byram. When it goes forward again, there's just nobody up in a Leeds shirt, and it's easy for Travers to come out the penalty area by a distance to get Middlesbrough going once more. Still through the middle, this time with Hackney, and it's misplaced, and it's an easy pick-up for Darlow, and he'll take as long as he absolutely dare before he grabs the ball and then falls to the floor, Pickford style.
Good save. Oh, this is difficult. This is difficult. We are winning this the hard way at the moment.
Well, Leeds want to make a change, but obviously they can't because the ball is in the hands of Darlow, so he's being implored to get the ball forward. And that he does now. Drops in the Middlesbrough half. Bamford flicks it on, but it's beyond Aaronson. Leeds would just be desperate to get some possession up there. Byram wins a good header. Can Gnonto chase it? 4 minutes to be added on. Gnonto's done well. He's forced it back up the touchline for a Middlesbrough throw-in, but it's level with the edge of their own box. Now the change is made, and Aaronson is the man. Trooper. He jogs towards the touchline to be replaced by Guilavogui.
Nothing left in the legs. He's worked ever so hard, but all of a sudden we can't get near the Boro players. He has worked very hard indeed. Maybe 1 or 2 good chances as well. Now Guilavogui, we need all that experience to see out these last 3-4 minutes.
Fry is coming on for Boro. Guilavogui goes into the middle in that defensive midfield role. Middlesbrough's change is signalled with Morris off, and the big figure of Fry will go and take his place somewhere in the forward line for the
Guilavogui will make 3 in the midfield now and just drop behind Druev and Tanaka.
Throw-in is taken to Travers, the goalkeeper, to Howson. Out it goes to Berg. Helped on to Iling-Junior, taking on and beating Schmidt. Gets the ball in, Darlow's hesitated! Far post Byram waited and heads it behind for a corner kick.
It's a heck of a ball in, it really is, and Fry, who just came on, just waiting to see if he could get the touch or not. That's what Darlow was doing, not to commit himself, and in the end it skidded through, but good number 6 almost there.
Well, the goalkeepers come up for Middlesbrough. Travers is in the penalty area as the corner is curled in. Heads go up near post. Darlow under the crossbar, grabs the ball. And there's a big roar from the travelling fans. Carl Darlow rolls back to his feet. Rodon hobbles away in characteristic fashion. Absolute warrior. And Darlow bounces it and moves the ball up to the edge of the penalty area.
Really important, wasn't it? Really important, that. Great challenges. Great take from the keeper as well.
Into the Boro half, and Bamford has it, and he goes down. It's a free kick for Leeds. And Leeds are so close now. So close now. 1.5 minutes remaining here at the Riverside Stadium, and Leeds have a free kick in the Boro half.
Bamford actually come on, he's got every ball in the air. He's got hold of it. He's won a few free kicks as well. Just what we need at this time.
Bogle clips it towards the edge of the area. Bamford beaten in the air this time. Boro launch it forwards. Heads up, well taken down by Byram. Keep the ball.
And a great
out
shout.
to Tanaka. Tanaka, it's given away. Middlesbrough have it with Hayden Hackney, and he's played it out wide to the left-hand side, and it's on the edge of the penalty area, and the ball into the middle is cleared away. Comes out again for Howson. Howson onto Iling-Junior, low drive wide, and it's a goal kick. And now it's inside. Now Leeds can touch it. 30 seconds on the clock here at the Riverside Stadium.
Well, Iling-Junior, thank goodness, that was a shocking decision to try and shoot from 25-30 yards out with all your teammates in and around the box, but just a few seconds left. Take your time, win this first header, keep it in their half, and I dare say we will be there with 3 points.
Carl Darlow to deliver the goal kick into the Middlesbrough half. Bamford chests it in field. can't find Gruev. Goes in to try and win another header. Free kick Middlesbrough on the halfway line. We've gone past the 4-minute added time mark. Middlesbrough have the ball. Played forward by Howson. Over the head of Guilavogui. Oh, and Bogle's got it wrong. Schmidt heads it not very far away. Iling-Junior just outside the box. Ball comes back out on this near side. Leeds trying to keep it out on the touchline, but it's infield. Great block. Now Bamford, if he can get there, can just see it, holds it, and then pass it, and he gets it forward, but it's beyond Gnonto, behind Gnonto, and Leeds with Bamford. What a tackle from Patrick Bamford. Won the ball back brilliantly and gets it to Gnonto, and now Bamford from Gnonto can cross the halfway line.
Brilliant.
And he's played it out to Schmidt on this right hand side, just outside the penalty area. Schmidt needs to do the right thing, goes down under the challenge. That's it! Leeds have won! Huge victory for Leeds United here. Leeds climb back to the top of the championship table. What a battle this has been, a fine game of football, but an early goal from Dan James has proved to be enough. And this team shows resilience, this team shows its courage, this team shows its mettle once more. Leeds have come out on top, and Leeds are back on the top. It's finished. Leeds United 1, Middlesbrough 0.
Oh, what a 90 minutes of football. Difficult in that second half as well, but you've got to show both sides of the game. Yes, all that attacking prowess. We've seen our fluid football win plenty of football matches, but this one was all about fight and spirit and teamwork, and we certainly showed all of that. We needed to. We held out in that second half, and if we didn't take all 3 points, I got to say, it would have been a travesty. We should have been 3 up. A couple of offside decisions went against us, but we held out and got what I feel is a huge 3 points tonight. Well done, boys.
The Leeds United fans on the far side of the stadium are acclaiming that performance, because Leeds did the things they needed to do. They defended really, really well. There were chances for Middlesbrough. We anticipated that, a good attacking side. There were good moments at the other end, and Leeds had 2 perfectly good goals ruled out. So the margin of victory could have been greater, the tension could have been less. But ultimately, if you get through to the other side of it, then it doesn't really matter, does it? Right, okay.
Everyone breathe.
Well, this has been some season, and there's more to come, of course. There is no job done here, but it's been a significant night, no doubt about that, because Sheffield United have lost at home, Burnley have drawn away, and this one has gone the way of Leeds United. It has finished here. Middlesbrough 0, Leeds United 1, and there is a massive roar as the players go to those away supporters, and those away supporters acclaim these players. It's all on again, folks. It's all on again. It's finished. Boro 0, Leeds 1.